I need some enrichment in my enclosure. Let's make some Feywild encounters. Tip number 1 to making some good encounters is theft. Beg, borrow, and steal is my motto. Even for this channel, I'm not plagiarizing anyone's ideas, but everything I come up with came from another idea. However you want to put it, inspiration, there's no such thing as an original idea. You'll be hard-pressed to come up with encounter ideas from thin air. Have a starting point. I think most people do this anyway, but it's a pretty essential step 1. And for the sake of it, here's a quick example that I'm going to keep vague because my idea is based off a very tiny spoiler for a video game and I will not be accused. I've been inspired by a little frog that will at intervals swallow an enemy whole. This is especially helpful when fighting large numbers / getting swarmed, and it's especially inconvenient when you were hoping to get loot off that monster. So I thought in D&D, you can't give your party a little frog that swallows any enemy because, hello, overpowered, but what if they found a little frog that did swallow stuff? Maybe it acts like a bag of holding, but it won't regurgitate or cycle through a swallowed object for a few days. And you can't just open up the frog, it's a magical ability, and you cannot retrieve your item by hurting him. Just a little safeguard feature. If there's something you like in a video game or TV show or some other media that wouldn't work in D&D, ask yourself how you can keep the essence of that thing while adjusting it to work within your game. A frog that can swallow an enemy of any size? Broken. A frog that works as a bag of holding, but cuter and more finicky about when it'll give up the item? Emotional attachment makes up for the inconvenience, and man, if that's not Fey. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen me take monsters and characters from literature and folklore and adjusting them for D&D. Even the ones that D&D have already redesigned for the game can be readjusted further if you want or need them to. I made a whole video about using beautiful art that fits the vibe of your game to come up with anything from a little monster to an NPC or a whole storyline. Anything that you're finding fun or beautiful or frightening in any other part of life can become part of your RPG experience. You just have to believe. So once you've chosen your inspiration, or if you're feeling completely uninspired and have nowhere to start, decide whether or not you need more combat in your game. I have a personal opinion about chaos and balance in the Feywild. As chaotic and gray area as the realm can get, you still need at least some version of good and evil to some extent. Your heroes need something to fight, something to save, something to resolve. In other words, they need a purpose for adventuring. I guess the main point of your game could be just making money, finding treasure, but even in a dungeon crawl, the characters in theory are opposed to the monsters within. Otherwise, they might have to be pretty evil to just steal and kill from anything and anyone. In the Feywild, you're probably going to or already play with Seelie and Unseelie Fey, which respectively represent the light and the dark. This divide, as I've discussed in previous videos, does not necessarily equate to good or evil, but it certainly can. If your Fey campaign includes Seelie and Unseelie Fey, and even neutral Fey that align with neither side, you'll be set up for conflict. That way, even if you don't want a clear good and evil, and maybe the conflict of the story involves some gray area, you still have sides and a structure, even if the culture of those sides differs from material plane expectations. And I haven't said this yet, but you can have a Fey encounter on any plane you want, not just the Feywild. If you want some pre-made Fey creatures to start with, friendly creatures might include Briganocks or unicorns. Not so friendly creatures could include Darklings and Darkling Elders, Sirens, Madcaps or Redcaps, Hags, Bullywugs, Quicklings, or Yethhounds. And neutral encounters could really include any of the above, or maybe Campestri, Dryads or Naiads, Eladrins, Satyrs, Bullywugs, Herringons, or Chorids. Basically, if you need more encounters, see if you've already struck your preferred balance of social versus combat encounters. Too much combat, intentionally add something nice in there. Too much socializing, throw in a little warring and bloodshed. So far, we have Steal, and decide whether an encounter will include combat or not. Pretty straightforward so far. But let's say you're not inspired and you don't know if you need more combat. It sounds to me like maybe you just need to roll on a chart or two. And obviously, if you're using this system and already know what you want to do for one of the charts, just pick that one. You have free will. But for the sake of this video, I am curious what you would get and create if you did roll, so let me know if you do. We start big, then go small. So first decide on a location. You can either pick one yourself or roll a dice. So if you're rolling, start with a d6. 1 is forest, 2 desert, 3 grasslands, 4 mountains, 5 coasts, and 6 either re-roll or pick a different biome entirely, like a city or a town or somewhere subterranean. So let's roll. That's actually a 6. So let's make a suburban encounter. I'm not going to go big FEY city or tiny little community, but let's do medium-sized town. Then pick or roll for a vibe. We'll use a d4 for this one. So on a 1, make a delightful encounter. On a 2, go with something neutral. On a 3, make something dangerous. And on a 4, either re-roll or make an encounter that's dangerous, but not like that. Something that's dangerous, but not for the reasons it would normally be. So let's roll for a vibe. That is a 2, so a neutral encounter in a town. Now let's decide if this encounter is going to include a creature or not. So d4 again, on a 1 to 3, we'll have a creature, and a 4 is no creature, pure environment. That's a 3. I totally did pre-write all of these, by the way, but every time I roll the dice, I keep getting the same number. So like I've rolled a 6 for that first roll 3 times because it took me 3 times to get that take right. And I don't know, maybe I'm just different. I don't know. But I really did roll. I followed the chart, okay? I really did roll. I didn't manipulate the rolls when I wrote this script. So you're still getting the real thing. I took the list of creatures and turned it into this chart. Most of the encounter will be clarified at this point. If you have a creature in an unusual area, come up with a reason why they'd be there, and the rest will follow. An 8. I'm lying. Which is a quickling. If you're unfamiliar with quicklings, they are chaotic evil, tiny fae who were created by and work for the Queen of Air and Darkness, or the main archfey of the Unseelie/Gloaming Court. They live short lives and see every natural process as incredibly slow because of the speed of their lifespans and bodies. They cause plenty of mischief, but according to official lore, rarely commit any truly evil crimes like murder. So I need to create a neutral encounter with a quickling in a FEY town. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking there has to be some reason this isn't a combat encounter of some kind, stopping a traditionally evil quickling from some shenanigans. We could go small and have the party just witness a quickling or two zoom through town on their way to the next place. We could also go silly and have a quickling that burned out, who's now drinking their short life away at a FEY bar. At that point, I need to also create a FEY bar. What drinks are there? Who are the other patrons? Are there any unusual rules in the place? And how fast does this quickling drink? All right, are you ready? All of these are going to be totally real. We're doing a second round. So I'm going to have a force encounter that's dangerous, but not for the usual reasons. There's a creature involved, and it's a hag. Classic. So a hag in a forest who's dangerous, but not for the usual reasons. I might actually create a more neutral-leaning hag here. The normal concern with hags is making a really bad deal or getting straight up killed, but the danger with this hag could be that she's super lonely. She may still try to trick the party into a bad deal, but one that's bad because it takes up their time. Her social niceties try to push them into having a proper tea with her and then dinner, and you're already here, just stay the night. And then a big breakfast in the morning, and she's done so much for them. They do need to pay her back, so why not just visit a little longer? She's not working towards some bigger, more vile goal. She just wants them to stay as long as possible. And to keep her evil for a traditional hag, make her home and personal activities disturbing in their own way. The group doesn't necessarily like hanging around. If you're interested in supporting the channel and maybe want a little treat or two along the way, check out my Patreon. I work hard to make that house a home. I hope you have a great whatever it is, and I will see you next time.